So here we are, game number 1 of a best of 5. Oh yeah. Good times. GunGFuBanDa up against Lambo. And it's going to be exceptional fun. They're giving each other hearts. That is what I like to see. I like to see hearts everywhere. It's good. Share the love, you know. Things like that. Anyway, Frost is the map. Spawning in the bottom right. Green Protoss player. GunGFuBanDa. And in the bottom left, the blue Zerg, Lambo. Oh yeah. So, I've got really hyperactive. I don't really know why. I think I ate too much sugar in that long break. Anyone who was watching live on stream, I'm sorry that was a long break. I want to say that none of it was my fault, but some of it was, because we were all in the lobby, the casters, the players, and stuff like that. And we ended up sitting there and having quite a lot of time mucking around and trolling each other. And so we got a bit distracted from actually making a game, and it was all a bit embarrassing, so sorry about that. The end result was we had a lot of fun. Now we're all really hyper, and we're going to have some cool games. Things we've learned in the lobby is GunGFuBanDa apparently never eats, and Lambo is really hungry. Things you never knew. Anyway, spawning pool first from Lambo, not wanting to play anything too risky. Meanwhile, GunGFu, he's just like, Nexus. I want my Nexus, and I want it now. And he's going to take it. Nexus first, up against spawning pool first. Lambo needs to see this coming, but he's not going to because his overlord went to the north. Not a good way to go. Currently, this is the most intense bit of micro, especially with the epic music going on as well. It's fairly intense. Hatchery comes down though, everything looks good. Happy, happy days. Spawning pool, nothing else. Are we going to see hatch pool? Might do. Are we going to see... Hatch pool is actually quite unlikely on this map because you can open forge first. It's really easy to wall it off. Also, of course, against a natural early, you don't really want to go hatch pool. Also, you can't go hatch pool when you went pool first. God, I'm an idiot. I can't believe I just went through that entire bit of conversation. People should, like, I'm actually hoping that my stream chat flames me for how stupid I was just then. Anyway, couple of links out now. Things looking good. They're just going to be scouring around, make sure no pylons are down or nothing sneaky's happening. Otherwise, all looking good. Gateway on its way. Wait, that gateway came... What? Was that a... I'm really confused by everything right now. It must have been a Nexus first, right? Please tell me it was. I hope so. Otherwise, I'm slightly embarrassed. Anyway, third hatch coming down from Lambo. This is not the greatest response. Because that third hatch... okay, it wasn't too bad, actually. It's not as early as I thought it was. Should be safe now. Has been scouted by GunGFu. So he knows that this is coming. However, a couple of lings are being sneaky little lings. They're getting attacked by probes though. They have to back away. Zealot is now here to save the day. Not doing a very good job of saving the day though, as a probe dies. Oh, Zealot. You've got that on your conscience now forevermore. The lings now splitting up. They're going to force a little bit of micro on these probes. Lambo really wants this food. Loses one of the lings up in the main. The other one gets away safely. The two lings in the natural base still running around. Trying to get a kill. Are they going to get another kill? This is actually fantastic. 3 probes killed by 4 lings. Totally worth it. Definitely good times. Warp gate tech coming through. We've got third base for Lambo nearly done. He hasn't added in any gas yet. He's just droning like a beast. He wants to keep an eye on what else comes down though. Knows there's a second gateway, but that is all. He doesn't know what else could be coming down. Doesn't know if there is going to be anything else sneaky or not. Just knows second gateway. Second gateway does actually tell quite a bit because it wasn't a gateway expand, it was a Nexus first. So it's not going to be the standard gate, tech or fourth gate, it's going to be something else. 3 gates worth of pressure can be really potent. It's frustrating to play against. There are the 2 gases, so again, tech should be coming down in some form. There's already quite a lot banked up, and there hasn't been a sentry made until I say that and a sentry is produced. Still a lot of gas sitting around, so I'm excited to see what GunGFu's going to do with that. But for the moment, GunGFu going on the aggressive. A Stalker, a Zealot, and a Mothership Core. The terrible trio, which has given me many nightmares as a Zerg player. It really shouldn't, but it does. I always overproduce lings. Lambo, he's produced a lot of lings though, but he's got a plan with them. And that plan is aggression. Robo facility coming down. That Overlord burst in the most agonizing way. Ling's still coming through. The sentry's gonna get in position in just in time. Is GunFu paying attention? GunFu, you better be watching. Yep, force field goes down. Everything's safe. Warp gate tech's done as well, so it's easy to hold that. Still, Zealot's Stalker Mothership Core poking and prodding. These Lings still being a little bit irritating. They managed to get through, actually. This is a problem. The sentry taking a bit of fire. Another sentry at the back. First one will get killed, though. Getting a sentry, then, is a big win. But a Queen goes down to the 2 Zealots, the Mothership Core and the Stalker. The Mothership Core trying to get focused, but the Queen backing away to safety. On creep, we've got a 22 Zerglings coming through. This is an aggressive opening to a PvZ if I ever saw it. A second sentry! It's gonna die. Oh god, it survived. Those probes are heroes. Anyway. Lots of Lings now. Mothership Core getting fairly low. The Queen chasing it down. A couple more Zealots coming through from the proxy pylon. Queen still chasing. Waddling. Couple more shots off. 15 HP. It gets away. Everything's good in the world. And now, maybe, possibly, perhaps, we'll stabilize. Evolution Chamber, Roach Warren. Now done. Second Evolution Chamber coming through. The proxy pylon, dead. The Mothership Core, what are you doing, Mothership Core? No. Okay, it's safe. This Mothership Core is so dangerous. What is he even doing? Mothership Core, don't play this dangerous game. It looks so proud of itself. It's just like, ha, look at that. I totally survived. It's like someone when they're about to get run over by a car when they're crossing the road, and they do that little skip to get out the way. And then they're like, everything was cool, and they like swagger off, just like, yeah, I'm meant to do that. Not realizing that they came that close to death. Anyway, gases all getting taken, or at least 4 have been. 5th and 6th in the main base, not yet down, but a Hydroden on its way, and Roach Speed coming through with a +1 missile attack from Lambo. Meanwhile, GunGFuBanDa, he is adding in some Immortals, and he's got a lot of sentries. Do you think it could be an Immortal Sentry build? I think it may well be. Couple more coming through. It is with the 3 Immortals, so it's very powerful. Probe coming to put Pylon down in position, and this Ling is doing an amazing job. Scouts are coming over. Boom, down comes Spines. Tons of Lings in production. Hydras need to get started up ASAP too. These rocks should seriously get taken down, because they're terrifying if the push comes through from this angle, because then you can get force fielded off there to stop reinforcements coming through. Take out the rocks. Take him out. I'm scared of those rocks. Pylon, not going to get placed there because creep spread is the way you win games. Roaches, Hydras coming through now. These Hydras essential to making this work, because if you get the Hydras out, you're going to be running some fun times, because their damage up against an Immortal Sentry play is great, especially their higher attack speed now. Even more damage against those Immortals. Force field's coming down though. GunGFu trying to end this quick. He backs out, loses the Mothership Core that was already on exceptionally low health. More force fields being used, but these units pushing on forward. Sentries dying a catastrophic death. The Immortals still up, but the Hydralisks have a couple of things to say about that. The Zealots tanking up some nice damage, backing away now. Lambo reinforcing with a lot more units. Slowly picking apart this army, but some good force fields. Catch a lot of those out. Well, still, this is going good. Waiting patiently to see exactly what they're going to do. We've got, of course, a better position theoretically for Lambo, having defended that without taking any drone losses. But it's only in theory, because sentries dropping up into the main base. They're going to try and get the force field on the ramp. Can enough units get up? Yes, they can. And so that means the sentries have to back away. More war pits coming through. A couple of Zealots added into the mix. Lambo, more Roaches, more Hydras. And definitely less War Prisms is what he's aiming for. If we take a quick little look over at GunGFu's side, he's unfortunately got a trapped Immortal that has freed itself at the cost of a pylon. Not involved in the fight though, and GunGFu having to back on out. He's still on 2 bases though, attempting to take a third, but a little Ling there says, I'm not going to hold position. And therefore, it goes down. The Nexus could get secured as long as this tide of blue Zerg units don't come crashing against the shore that is the Nexus. It could hurt a lot. It's gonna hurt a lot. In come the Lings, they wrap around, and it's enough. Cancel goes down, and GunGFu confined to 2 bases, but he's dropping. He's got sentries in the main base. He's got zealots being warped in, and those force fields were beautiful. Drones fighting zealots is not a nice trade for the drones. The force field's still looking good, but only 1 sentry remains, and that means reinforcements can come up and in. 7 and 6 workers killed on either side. Who is going to be victorious? I'd say at 190 supply to 117, things are looking pretty good for Lambo. But being a good caster, I am not going to sit there and say that this game has been decided. I'm going to still try and tell you the options that GunGFu has. And in all seriousness, he does actually have some options available. Namely, he's got Colossi. If he can get a couple more out, he can stop this army with some really good force fields. But this 3rd base has to go down. If it isn't able to be secured and get mining for a good amount of time, GunGFu has lost. It's that simple. The trades also have to be very good. GunGFu needs to make sure that this Colossus stays alive. His next one can't get out quickly enough. How many sentries are there? Currently 6. These force fields are so important. They've got to get down well. Second Colossus now here. That's going to help. There's no armor upgrade for these units. The Hydra's going to melt to those thermal lances. As we can see, these units getting taken down. The force field's good. Zoning out a lot of the Zerg force, but from the side, more units coming through. A lot of roaches up on the high ground. It's a complete surround now for Lambo. He has trapped this Protoss army. The force field's not even going to be enough. Down it all goes. And this is almost guaranteed now a win for Lambo. The GG should be coming out fairly soon. This army may actually get shut down. That is incredibly impressive. I prematurely called the GG. I'm sorry about that. But that was incredible by GunGFu. But it's still pretty dire for him. He lost a lot of stuff there. He lost all but 1 of his sentries, which is sitting in this war prism in safety. He doesn't have a very good economy, but he does now have 3 Colossi. I underestimated the power of the Colossus. I'm sorry, it was a mistake. I'm a bad person. Lambo, though, does now have Vipers out. He can abduct these Colossi and they will die. They will die a painful death. Unless, of course, the High Templar can feed back the Vipers, in which case they may not die a horrible death. The Vipers could explode. The High Templar will literally make the Vipers explode with their brains. They're cool like that. Forward now comes GunGFu. Lambo amassing more units. He's got a 4th base on its way. He's adding in more units, still adding in an Overseer in case of DTs. Because every Protoss knows when behind Dark Shrine. But GunGFu is leveled out the work account. He's ahead now in that work account. He's got his 3rd base. But the push is coming. The Vipers are getting in position. GunGFu is waiting for it. GunGFu is prepared, but the Vipers, if they get the abducts, it'll work. But Vipers, where are you going? Come back. Okay, Vipers coming back. Waiting for the abducts. They're just chilling here. They're not doing anything. They're just like, we will watch. Probably the least useful thing to do with Vipers is just have them floating around there. You need to abduct with the Vipers. Abduct the Colossi with the Vipers. And it's all good. These High Templar are getting a bit low on energy. There's still enough for a couple of feedbacks though. Be careful, Vipers. Good positioning at the moment. We're going into max zoomed out mode now to see all of this action. The Roaches and Hydras starting to chip away. The Vipers get the abducts. Forward come the Colossi, but not forward enough. Another abduct gets 1. Okay, good work. Gets 2. Great work. Only a single Colossus remains. In now comes Lambo, but his army's slowly deteriorating. And oh god, there's storms on everything. And things are starting to hurt massively. Somehow, GunGFu still holding on. The Vipers backing on out. They don't have enough energy for any more abducts. They need to go and consume some more units. But they're not going to. They're going to stay here. The Stalkers shooting away. We've got a single lone Zealot slowly killing the 4th hatchery. And GunGFu is in this game. I don't know how this is happening. GunGFu wins this game. How is that even possible? I don't know. But GunGFu, he wins game number 1 and takes an early lead after failing an Immortal Sentry all-in. Somehow comes back to be victorious in game 1 of this best of 5.